I'm at the rail end of the crowd funneling into the Class 4C homeroom classroom. Those sure were words. Before long, everyone else has entered the room, and it is just me out in the hall. I breathe in and out before stepping forward towards the open door. I close the door behind me as quietly as possible and make my way to my seat in the classroom. The chaotic clamor of voices has quieted into a calmer, more relaxed atmosphere. Peering behind me, I witness a familiar sight. Kosei surrounded by a bunch of kids, both sitting and standing, and him smiling patiently amidst all the attention. Even so, when he notices me looking, he offers me a friendly smile and a nod, no doubt keeping his gesture low-key, so as not to draw attention from the crowd towards me. I turn my head towards window seats and spot Natsuki scowling out at the rain-soaked pavement below. From the look of her expression, it'd probably be best to not bother her right now. The teacher is the one I recognize from Monday. Papers in hand, her eyes scan the classroom, likely taking informal attendance before it can begin proper. Actually, there's someone standing with her this time. A student, if the uniform's any indication. Are we getting another transfer? I've never seen anything similar to that sprite before. Very big eyes, though. She kind of looks like very childish due to her big eyes. I always feel like that in anime, that like these big eyes make them just look like cuter, more childish. What was the voice I gave? I didn't really... I don't care about the teacher voices. Everyone! Okay, but be a bit more. Everyone, as you all know, this is Midori, Student Council President of the freshman class. She'll be joining us today to give some important updates on upcoming events. Please extend your sincerest thanks to Midori and the rest of the Student Council for their hard work in these unusual circumstances. Thank you! The class all says in unison, which Midori meets with the warmest smile she can muster. But before that may begin, let us take attendance. Once attendance finishes, Midori steps up to the podium with a paper in hand, glances between it and the rest of the class before she begins speaking. As stated before, my name is Midori. I speak now on behalf of the Student Council, particularly in the matter of the upcoming Natsumatsuri. The festival is a proud annual tradition of Sarubatu High, a chance to showcase the artistic, academic, and athletic acumen of our August assembly. Therefore, the festival will continue on as scheduled for Saturday and Sunday of next week. No changes have been made in this regard. As for the inclement weather, we understand that the festival has typically supported stands and stalls for outdoor activities. These particular enterprises have been suspended and the associated clubs notified. Midori frowns as whispers and murmurs are exchanged between the kids in the classroom, as if she can feel the control slipping away from her. But, again, the festival is not cancelled. Clubs are still allowed to host their activities using reserved space in the halls as well as classrooms. The Natsumatsuri will be taking place indoors and under shelter. That is it. That is all that has changed. As always, club leaders may bring any questions, concerns, requests to faculty and staff so long as the proper paperwork is provided and followed. The Student Council Press tone is authoritative, professional, and commands an undeniable presence. She's perfectly suited to the role. Now, I will be doling out an administrative tasks. I don't suppose we have any volunteers among this class. When all is said and done, I am once again left with no responsibilities of my own to contend with, which suits me just fine. onward to world history. I check inside my bag to make sure I brought the correct in-class assignment sheet, and fortunately I did. For some reason, the teacher made us print it out ourselves. Maybe it's a ploy to see who's paying attention to their emails. I quietly seat myself at my apportioned desk and scan the room for any familiar faces, but it seems as though there are none in this class. Kind of a shame. In walks the world history teacher. Time to learn all about how great things have been ever since Japan was nuked twice. Just like the email said, we have an in-class assignment to go over. I can see the disappointment on the teacher's face at the confused expressions on several students. Well, those of you who printed out the assignment, good job. Those of you who didn't, find someone to work with who did. Seriously? They're all getting let off just like that? And those of us who give a fuck now have to work with those who don't? Maybe the email just didn't arrive. I've had this before where like emails with important stuff didn't come. And also the downside of not being in every class chat. Whatever. I shouldn't care so much about what other people are doing. I click my pen open and read through the assignment conditions. It's an essay assignment on post-World War II Chinese immigration into Japan. I meant to write two to three paragraph mini essays from the perspective of a Japanese citizen living in the 40s to 50s, one in favor of allowing for the migration and one against it. But just when I begin putting pen to paper, two guys approach my desk, each in a troubling state of empty-handedness. Given the fact that they kind of don't have faces, I'm assuming they're just there for the time being. Hey man, you printed out the assignment sheet, right? Yes. The two boys glanced at each other, the skinny one burying his hands in his pockets and chuckling sheepishly. I tried to put on a sweet smile and continue. Do you want to do the assignment with me? The skinny one gives a relieved exhale before speaking up. Yeah. Thanks, man. Keiichi and I apparently didn't get the memo. Despite my initial assumptions, the two boys, apparently named Keiichi and Yuji, actually kind of pulled their weight, particularly in the second part. Though I did the writing, they still managed to offer some insights, and that betrayed an actual understanding of Japan's post-World War II mentality. Either that or they just really hate the Chinese. We managed to finish the assignment a good 15 or so minutes before the end of class. You know, I hear that in university, you just be able to pack up and leave if you finish early. But instead, we're left to awkwardly idle to the sounds of indistinct discussion and frantically scribbling pens. Finally, the one named Keiichi breaks the silence. So, Max, do you and Yuri know each other or something? Oh, dude, that's you? You're the crazy bastard who's been taking up with Yuri? Huh? I'm pretty sure I don't know anybody named Yuri. It's because I've been in the library so often. It's because I stuck to the... Wait, really? But Kenji said he saw you two together at the library. The library? Wait, so that girl sitting alone at the table, her name is Yuri? Standing in my fidgeting hands, for some unnameable reason I am very happy to know this information. Apparently enough so that the look on my face can be misinterpreted. So what? You some kind of nutcase? One of those morbid fanatics obsessed with serial killers or something? Dude. Don't antagonize him, you moron! What? Where did that even come from? Oh, and you're just like her too. Always playing the meek, harmless little nerd when actually you're completely sick in the head. Hey, for the record, I don't agree with what you're saying, okay? You and I are cool, right, Max? Seriously, Kay? You think that's gonna... Saved by the bell. Thank the Lord. I quickly gather my things, leave the assignment sheet at the teacher's desk, and gently open the exit door, eyes glued to the floor. Why the hell can't people just mind their own business? Whatever. It's time for Japanese class. I exhale, heft my back, and make my way towards Sarubato High's east wing. And it's over before I know it. What even happened in that class? Hell if I know. Still coasting along with straight A's regardless, baby! But now that Japanese is finished, it's time to decide. Where should I spend my lunch break? Oh. Natsuki. Alright, so it's the next day for me now. I've decided I'm either going with Kazori or at the library. Now someone's also moving in the hallway, so I hope you can't hear that. But I might need to cut something for once. Because Izumi will be fine, Kosi will be fine, Natsuki, we're going with her later. If I really want to, I can see her later. It's between Kazori, because I really want to spend more time with her, or with the library to also see now Yuri. Now that we know her name, something different might happen. So I already said I wanted to try Kazori another time, so either I do that now or maybe I'll check out the library. I'm just concerned that it will also hit her like the gossip after what we heard the last time. So, but still, I think I'm going to stick with the plan. I'm going to keep going to the library for this run. Maybe go a little bit different. I wonder if it will go to like, it's like Wednesday and we start on Monday. I wonder if the demo will like end by the end of the week or something like that. I'm going to now for now go the library. I think I'll just keep going with that plan and maybe change it up another time if I notice something else. But I feel like now that we know who Yuri is, or like that's Yuri, I feel like it would make sense to maybe like check up on that. And also, I feel like it would be weird to now just go, no, I'm not going to follow my plan. I mean, I kind of want to go with Kazori as well, but I mean, like, to not go with the plan of going with, like, visiting Yuri simply because of what the other people said. Because we don't care. As if that... bleh, great start. As if that was ever a question. Miyazaki library awaits. I head over to the fiction section of the library, send my tiptoes, I check and double check to make sure I got the numbering right, and then I realize that Beneath the Crimson Moon is missing. Shit. Except, after further observation, it turns out the Beneath a Crimson Moon is not missing, but moved. Who the fuck put it all the way up there? Oh, is it because Yuri is like taller than us? On the tables there's a little sign that reads, "When you are done, leave your books on the table. Do not return them to the shelves," or something to that effect. This is why the aforementioned sign exists. What the hell is so hard about following simple instructions, huh? Yeah, we're too tiny. Damn it. Not even close. I peer left and right, and somehow there aren't any of those step stool thingies around here either. What the hell? It's as if the entire universe is arrayed against me retrieving this book. Well, maybe you could ask Yuri. I'm assuming she might be taller than us in this mod. Come on. Maybe I could try jumping or something. fuck's sake. Maybe I should just find something else to read. But just when I'm ready to give up... Ah. Out of nowhere, it becomes apparent I'm not the only one coveting this book. I'm assuming that this is Yuri. If not, then forgive me, random person. Beneath the Crimson Moon. That's the book you're looking for, right? To the right of me, I hear a voice speak in a stammering contralto. I turn to find the source of it. Oh, Yuri is much taller than we are! You can't be serious. Oh, she's so adorable! It's that purple girl I keep seeing here at the library. I knew if I keep going here, I will eventually have success with her. But now that she's standing up straight, it seems she's even taller than I first assumed. I suppose either they made her like very tall, because in the original DDLC she isn't actually extremely much taller compared to Natsuki. Even from the frames, it sometimes seems like DMC is maybe a little bit smaller. But otherwise he appears to be taller than Sayori and potentially Monica as well. So either they made like Yuri bigger or like Max is very tiny. Yeah, that's the correct book. I stare at the book's back cover, if only so I don't have to look into her eyes. Beneath the Crimson Moon is an interesting read. You've read it? Oh, she's smiling. You know what? I'll take it with me. Fuck. There you go. I have like I had like multiple Natsuki instances. I hope I can get another Natsuki instance. Yes, I have. And I thought it was interesting. She repeats herself, her voice trailing off as she does so. It feels as if there's more she wants to say on the subject. If you have a strong opinion on the matter, I promise I won't get offended if you voice it. I can see her body relax slightly after I finish speaking these words. She breathes in and out before continuing. To tell the truth, I'm beginning to think Blake Valentine is writing horror simply because that is what his publishers demand of him now. Perhaps I'm simply imagining it, but there are clear signs of burnout in how it's written. His previous works such as... Oh god... Punishing Crime and Garden of Hands, while of course still dark and horrific, are fundamentally human stories with an undercurrent of optimism. If you have ever read Howlin' Aliens, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, perhaps you understand some of Blake's literary inspirations. The idea that, even if at great cost to yourself, you can still save others. It's an undeniably powerful weight in the story, not to mention a powerful message. Garden of Hands had a twist on this, with Lucille not only saving the other victims trapped in the garden, but also figuring out an alternative source of sustenance, one so efficient that the garden had not realized anything had even changed. A solution Lucille came to out of love, empathy, and the realization that nobody deserved the situation they were in. Contrast that with how humanity is depicted in Beneath the Crimson Moon. It is simply pure, ceaseless bleakness and hate. What little comfort our protagonist ever does find is always ripped away. And yes, perhaps I didn't like Hannah's protagonist at first, and I find her attitude grating, but Blake generally does a fantastic job of getting the reader to sympathize with her and developing her softer traits. But what does she get out of this journey of personal growth and atonement? Actually, is this, perchance, your first time reading Beneath the Crimson Moon? Yeah, it is. Oh god. I can't believe I was spoiled it for you. I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad. No, I wouldn't be mad at you even if you had spoiled it. She smiles a little at me, triggering a rush of heat to my face. I guess we really like pretty women. A pretty boy and a pretty lady. And it's like the tall, a little bit more dominant one in like specific situations. And the small one who's also... I have not seen him be dominant yet once, but... Who knows, maybe he can also be dominant sometimes, but... Right now he's a bit... We haven't seen enough of him for that. And yes, if it has to be... I'm not the greatest fan of straight ships, but I do kind of like when like large gaps in height are more like in favor of the woman. Like... I can sometimes root for couples, of course, if like it's well written with the guys taller, of course, because that's just sometimes that's going to work and you can still fall in love with that. But I do like the tall, dominant women. My name is I'm an idiot. My name is Yuri. Ah, so that really is her name. I'm Max. It's wonderful to finally meet you, Max. Finally? Oh, well, yeah, I've been wondering about you ever since you started showing up here at the library. I'm glad I chose the library today. Now that I've been thinking about you, or... Wait, that makes it sound like I don't care about you at all. Well, actually, we're strangers, so I guess it'd be normal not to care, but still She stares at me, the mortified look in her eyes proving impossible to meet with my own. That probably sounded really creepy, didn't it? No, I promise it didn't. I'm just a little surprised is all. I just assumed you never even noticed I was there. Why would you assume that? You always look so focused on the books you're reading that I figured... Hello? Why not that I was staring at you while you read or something, like, you know, cause you would always be here at the library before me, but like, I wasn't purposely timing our arrivals or anything like that. It's just something that we were always, not that to assume that there's any sort of we going on here. There's no need to talk about it if you don't want to. I managed a single moment glance at Yuri's face before her puzzled expression tells me that what a bad idea that was. Max, would you like to sit down somewhere? I realized we've been standing this whole time. Yeah, that'd be cool with me. We both head to the tables, but instead of sitting as far from one another as possible as we normally do, we each pull out a chair from across the other. As we take our seats, I quickly glance at the bashful smile on Yuri's face. I wonder if it's polite or genuine. Yuri placed the book down the table, front cover up, staring at the deep red blood moon upon its surface. She seems briefly mesmerized before she looks at me once more. Sorry, you probably just wanted to read your book, but here I am, talking your ear off. No, it's fine. More than fine, actually. I'm really happy we get to talk like this. Her eyes dart towards my direction for just a moment before she hesitantly speaks up again. Get to? Present tense? Yeah, maybe. You and I could talk more often. Only if you want to, that is. I'm not trying to pressure you into anything if you don't want to. I just thought we could... I don't know, discuss literature some more, since we seem to like a lot of the same things. Like... books, and horror, and quiet places. And please tell me about your phone number. Please tell me your phone number. About the phone number. How did you get it? When did you get it? Yes, ma'am! I mean, yes, Yuri, A few stammering apologies later, I finally managed to properly enunciate my phone number to Yuri. She smiles serenely, a bright pink color in her cheeks, following along each spoken numeral with careful taps on her screen. She also has her face as a profile picture. Interesting. Hello, Max. It is lovely to be able to speak to you like this as well. I promise I am much more articulate in written word than I am speaking. Don't worry about it. I can understand you just fine whether you are typing or speaking. That is very kind of you to say, but I know very well my own shortcomings when it comes to verbal communication. So, if I begin to ramble, or if what I'm saying makes no sense, please feel free to stop me. Actually, please do stop me. I find taking a moment to gather my own thoughts does wonders. If that's the case, then you should stop whenever you feel like it. Not just when I prompt you to. Don't worry about me getting impatient. I promise I won't. We've only just met, and already we've made so many promises to one another. And somewhere at the same time, we both look up from our respective phones, our eyes locking for the most fleeting of moments. But just when I open my mouth to speak... Oh! That was an hour! Like, how long does it take to go to the library? Thusly silenced, we instead get to gather our things into our respective bags, Yuri leaving beneath the crimson moon on the table like a proper fucking library patron. Funny, by this time Yuri would always already be gone. You're not gonna be late to class because of me, are you? Not to worry, I'm a fair bit faster than you may realize. Huh. Wonder if she's on one of the sports teams. She probably has the build for it. Could be that she's muscular. On the other hand, muscles. I've seen people who are very strong who have no sign of muscle at all. So you know what? Could be that she's just wrong. Speaking of which, you should probably get moving yourself. The freshman classrooms aren't exactly next door. Or was he referring to the fact that she's so tall and she could, like, I don't know. It's like I've heard multiple times about like tall people and playing basketball that it's like always assumed. Even my friends, like they're fucking tall and it's like they keep hearing about it. Like they're just tall. That does not say anything about their interests, really. Right. I'll talk to you later, okay, Yuri? It was really lovely talking to you. Have a pleasant evening, Max. You and I part ways into the shelter of the skywalks after not much walking at all, with her headed to the senior classrooms while I am bound for the freshman ones. I let out a deep, pent-up exhale, mist drifting from my lips with each trembling breath. I can't believe not only did I speak with her, but I gave her my number as well. I stared down at my pale, shaking hands before clenching them into fists, fingernails digging into my palms. Be calm. You're a human being, not a ghost or a phantom or of your tortured psyche. Like any human being, I believe she simply craves a connection with another. By the time I reached the door to the campus indoor halls, I desperately hoped the warmth of my face is not still so obvious. Time for chemistry class. As I make my way down the hall, I actually spot Kazori amidst a stirring crowd. I quickly weave between the bodies and wave to try and catch her attention. After a short moment, she noticed my beckoning hand, reciprocating with a wave of her own and a sweet smile. Oh, we're gonna have a bit of time with her now anyway, good. By the time we walk in, Saki-sensei is already situated at the front of the classroom, her eyes scanning some stacks of paper in front of her as she takes feverish sips of coffee. Seeing as our assigned seats are so far away from one another rather than splitting off immediately to my own, I decide to hang out with Kazori for a little bit before class starts. So, what do you think about Saki-sensei? As a teacher, I mean. Well, pertaining to the subject of chemistry, at least, she seems enthusiastic to a degree. I myself believe that love for one subject is the most important trait for a teacher, but from what I have heard, Saki did not willingly agree to teaching this class. Yeah, I get that sense too. At least if her rant on Monday was anything to go by. Does she do that often? Oh yes, quiet. At first, it made me anxious because she was speaking so quickly that I could neither tell what she was saying, nor was it relevant to the class. But as it turns out, Saki-sensei is simply a woman of opinions. Many strong opinions. Why do I make the voice quieter? Whatever. Maybe it's just used to make the voice quieter. I bet the only reason she can get away with mouthing off like that is because she's the only science teacher the board has left. I have a great deal of respect for outspoken women. Perhaps the school would benefit from actually listening to her. In short order, however, chemistry class is in full swing. Saki-sensei delivers her orations with all the enthusiasm of a sea slug, mostly following the textbook. The last 15 minutes of class is dedicated to going over our homework assignment due Friday, to study on writing the formulas of ionic and covalent bonds. Covalent? First via the crisscross method, then translating ionic compounds via the stock naming system, then naming molecular compounds, and finally writing the formulas from names. I quickly began putting pen to paper and something. And by the time the bell rings, I finally filled out the first few rounds of the crisscross method assignment. This isn't gonna be so bad, although... Should I offer to help Kizori with her homework? Wait, I can save here because I have saved that there. I would say yes. I mean, I want to kind of spend a little more time with her. Might as well see. As long as you just say, like, I want to offer, not like, maybe you need help. Hey, Kizori, are you going to need help with the homework assignment or anything? I will be fine, Max, but thank you for the offer. I don't know if it's just me, but she looked a little annoyed just then. Well, I can understand that it's probably like often that people like are like, do you need help with this and that because of this and that? But I still would prefer to offer. Well, yeah, of course she was annoyed. Who am I to condescend to her just because her Japanese is rough? Just because she's a foreigner. It could just be that there's potential that maybe chemistry is difficult. There's sometimes where I also want to do biology with others simply because it's easier to learn in a group. Here I am, always blubbering about being an outsider when I treat others the exact same way. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Kazori's shortly out the door and goes out of sight. Guess I should follow suit. I just thought we could maybe spend time together, studying together. My last class of the day is English, which means it's time I hustled on over to the Western wing of the campus. At least now I know someone from that class. He seemed awfully impressed by my performance last time. Wonder if he's any good himself. To begin making my way down the bustling halls, however, my phone or something. However, my phone, yep. Ah, of course it's from Yuri. I have not properly expressed my gratitude for your patience after our encounter at the library. So, thank you. Thank you for indulging in my ramblings. Is this girl for real now? I'm the one who should be thanking her. No thanks necessary. I'm grateful myself that you saw fit to lend me your time. Some time passes before her next message. It is just that I find it difficult to speak to new people. My heart races and my throat seizes up, and my mind fills with so much noise that I cannot even tell what I am saying. You experience the same thing, don't you? Starting us right off with the deep stuff, huh? Well, I don't see the problem I don't see why we shouldn't just, like, tell her. It's currently the the keyboard isn't working for some reason for that. But yeah, let's just be honest with her. She's a very understanding person. Of course, we, like Max, can't know that, given the short time, but even then she seemed very understanding at the library, so why not? I really do mean it when I say you need not thank me for indulging you. I'm simply lending you the same courtesy I wish I would be rendered. There's no need to sell yourself short. While most students at the school spend their lunchtime with friends or lovers, you choose to do so at the library. Reading a novel that deviates quite far from the mainstream, might I add. This is why I believed we may relate in more ways than one, Max. We really are so very alike. Seems books aren't the only thing she's good at reading. As soon as I walk into the door, my eyes begin scanning the room for any signs of a brown-haired ball of energy and bro-speak. But in no time at all, my eyes meet with said bro-speaker, and he was exuberantly drawing eyes towards me, such in his enthusiasm. Another interpretation suggests a perversion of marital roles. The devotion of the wife is depicted as positive, while the rule of the husband is negative. Max, can you read aloud the passage on page 108? Oh. Yes, teacher. I rise from my seat and see the expectant eyes of the classroom fall upon me. Better just try and focus completely on the book. I would need to ask my friend what it means. Silence grips the classroom for a beat after I finish. I simply seat myself once more, staring down at the desk, not wanting to meet everyone's peering eyes with mine. Amazing. Incredible as always, Max. My eyes remain cast downwards, but there's no hiding from what my ears can perceive. The murmuring and sneering. As someone who was in high school, most people didn't really sneer or anything like that. Maybe a few people had a few things to say, but most of the time when I read dramatically, there wasn't too much of a commentary on it. That's it for today's classes. As I pack up my things, Izumi quickly appears at my side with a big stupid grin on his face. Dude, you were awesome! Again, I forgot his voice. I didn't really have a unique voice for him anyway. Ah, come on. You don't need to flatter me. Okay. Clearly my gushing makes you uncomfortable, so I'll stop. But still, you could, become a teacher or something. Heck, you're even better than our own teacher. Maybe, Izumi. Maybe. Surprisingly, Izumi and I managed to walk down the halls together without him being mobbed by his soccer team pals this time. He's still pretty hard to keep up with, both physically and socially, but it's actually pretty pleasant letting him do all the talking. At the very least, he doesn't seem to expect much out of me aside from the occasional question or acknowledgement. And I was like, man, that is not how you use a blender. I was surprised the thing was still functioning. I check out politely as I turn the locker key, retrieve my shoes, and put away my school supplies. Anyway, dude, you need to join a club soon. The school's not gonna tolerate you being part of the Go Home Club for long. What about you? Shouldn't you be at your club right now? Well, the soccer team fulfills the requirement, but as you might guess... we haven't been... Max! There you are, slowpoke! And who's this? Oh, sorry. This is Izumi. He's my classmate in English. Izumi, this is Natsuki, my home ec classmate. Great to meet you, Natsuki! Cool. Can we kill now, Max? Natsuki grabs my sleeve and practically drags me to the exit. I mouth a silent sorry to Izumi before we reach the doors. Natsuki and I each open our respective umbrellas, my black and her pink, creating quite a contrast from one another, but they protect us from the rain all the same. So, do you have something personal against Izumi? Huh? No, I've never met the guy before. Then, why did you just brush him off like that? Dunno, he looked annoying. You know, I don't actually think I can blame you for that assessment. I mean, we kind of were a bit concerned about it as well. You're a freshman like me, aren't you, Natsuki? Is this your very first semester of high school as well? No, it's not actually. I was here a whole semester before you ever transferred over. So that still makes you the new kid. Not that you seem to need much help in settling in. I hear you find yourself quite at home in the library. You heard? Who'd you hear that from? Friend of a friend. Only took you 3 days to find yourself a secret admirer. Lucky bitch. I'm assuming, Yuri, does the literature club exist? Because if so... Huh? What are you even on about? Not telling. Not that any of that matters anyway. Not while we're out here, walking the streets in this lousy ass weather. The school way behind us. I mean, you feel the same way, right? Like out here is the only place you can actually be yourself. Just walking, going nowhere at all. Nobody to judge you. I suppose. What about at home? Do you, feel like you can't? Natsuki peers at me, her eyes narrowed, lips tightening into a stiff frown. I should know better than to continue with such a personal question. Never mind. We continue on silently, the damp air suffocatingly thick with moisture and awkwardness. Damn, dude, you live uphill? Didn't know I was talking to someone stiff as boogie rich kid. I'm not. Besides, is there really such a difference between the neighborhood uphill and downhill? Yeah. You ever been downhill? Huge fucks let all the trash wash downstream. Kidding, of course. It's not your fault the grown-ups like to live like fucking animals. Mostly. Are you gonna be okay? Psh! Relax, dude. I'm exaggerating. Though, it is kinda nice that you care. What? Sorry, the rain makes it hard to hear sometimes. Never mind! I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Natsuki turns on her heel and begins briskly walking to this downhill neighborhood. I awkwardly wave goodbye, but she doesn't bother turning to look, so I just exhale a defeated sigh. That girl's mood is about as stable as a plutonium sphere. Home sweet home. Home? Is this really my home? Maybe I should just say, house sweet house. Thank you for your stuff today, my umbrella protector. You may rest now till tomorrow morning. Welcome home, Max. How was school, Max? I missed you, Max. The shadows in the corners all greet me, their voices loving and needy. Ah, those drab grey couch cushions. Never have they looked so inviting to a cold and weary soul. But once my body has sunk into the couch's warm, plush embrace, I remember tomorrow's Thursday, which means I'll be needing that form the home economics instructor demanded of me. The one where I specify whether I'll be cooking or baking or whatever. Fortunately, I have a contact on the inside. Agent N, do you copy? Hey Natsuki, sorry to ask this of you, but do you have a copy of the form required for home economics class? What form? I'm not sure what it's called. The The instructor told me I would be specifying whether I'm on the baking track or cooking track. I'm trying to read down there, by the way, because it takes forever to already just see the typing. Not from Natsuki. Natsuki is strict and to the point. But most of the time the typing takes like forever already, and so I kind of want to hurry up a little bit. Oh yeah. They should have sent you an email with the PDF, but here it is. And there's the attachment. Thank you, Natsuki. You're a lifesaver. You're gonna go with baking, right? That's the plan. Awesome. You're stuck with me now the rest of the semester, now fucko. You're stuck with me for the rest of the semester now, fucko. 4 months, kid. I have you for 4 months! Looking forward to every day of it. Fuck yeah, that's the spirit. I'm lucky to know someone like Natsuki. She seems like a real ride or die type of friend. Thanks to her, I can print this form out before class tomorrow. I stare up at the ceiling, my arm drooping off the front of the couch, and feel my phone slide out of my palm and gently settle on the wooden floor. Even my hunger pangs are beginning to dull as consciousness fades. Gentle slumber is all this body of mine craves at this very moment. What in the goddamn? Oh shit, did someone throw something against it? Or did it break to something else? Something cracked the absolute fuck out of that window. Probably some random debris blown in the wind, unless... Yeah, that could also be. It's just... But... Somebody threw something. It'd be smart to at least make sure the coast is clear. I don't bother putting my shoes on. I'm not planning on actually stepping outside. That's the worst thing I could possibly do if there's an axe murderer waiting. You mean this weird slasher person. The door is unlocked, the cold knob twisting easily in my hand before I gently push open. I push open too. The cold darkness of the night greets me, along with the never-ending rain that falls in relentless buckets as always, the clouds smothering any and all moonlight. There's no suggestion of any figures out there, sinister or otherwise. The only time I can see anything at all is when flickering lighting flashes across the sky. Hello? I call out, to no answer but the howl of the wind, dirge of the rain, and roar of the thunder. I hate knowing a word, but not knowing how to say it. My shivering breath flowed as drifting mist in front of my lips. I hung my arms tight around my torso, shuddering at creeping cold that probes at my bare hands and feet. At creeping cold. If there really is someone creeping out there and messing with me, then I suppose I should just applaud their dedication and accept my oncoming murder. Not everyone could carry out such activities in this weather. I opened the fridge, and am instantly presented with the usual array of non-food items and the container with yesterday's meal. I'll eat a cupcake tonight, and then I'll have 2 left. I'd better have 2, Actually... This is my first actual meal of the day, after all. Tomorrow on my way back from school, I should stop by the convenience store to stock up on the cheapest ramen cups I can find. What if Natsuki would want to join me? On the bright side, I'm not throwing up my guts tonight. Shit, I better crawl into bed and go to sleep fast before I jinx myself. With a newfound sense of urgency, I changed out of my uniform and into a loose-fitting black hoodie and a pair of shorts, my favorite pajamas. To sleep, perch and stream. Hey, there's the rub. From the sleep of death, what dreams may come. What is this, a reference to something? Aye. Ayo. Teenagers scare the living shit out of you. So Sarubato's High's bullies are notorious for their viciousness. Maybe they threw something into the window then because we were spending time with Yuri, huh? Yeah! Just kidding. I'm not one of those cartoon characters who obliterate their alarm clock in the morning. Especially since that said alarm clock is my phone. All things considered, this shouldn't be such a bad day. I actually have someone to share my morning walk with, if that someone's energy level doesn't exactly line with mine. Homek is today as well. Wonder what Natsuki and I will be baking today. Maybe Yuri would like some pastry or two as well. Okay, so these are our plans, it seems. I think next time I'll try to go with a bit more of Kizori. I will show a bit more of the mod later. But yeah, I feel like I should just go with this now because it seems that I kind of want to focus on the current Dokis we have. Okay, enough idle musing. Time to face the day, the cold, dark, dreary, rain-clouded day. You know, with how sore I was on Tuesday and how sick I was Wednesday, this is the okayest morning I've had in recent memory. A good omen, perhaps? Yeah. I continue to try thinking happy thoughts as I gather up my uniform, silver linings or whatever. These thoughts, I wonder if they were hinting at something or if this was like our thoughts, like the bullies, they could exist somewhere out there and we are scared of them. We haven't seen them yet, but like it could be them. They could be something up with them. And we're worried about that. My body craves the warmth of the shower. Even with the heater running, it feels like the days are getting colder and colder with each one that passes. And it only gets worse with my clothing thusly stripped. I practically leap into the shower once I feel the air against my skin. I was actually excited for today's shower thoughts. Because I kind of had like a few shower thoughts, if you can put it like, if you can call them that. Like I wasn't having them in the shower, but just like random thoughts I kind of like had and was thinking about, and then yeah, well, not completely random, but yeah. So maybe I can do that for like Thursday and next Friday, and if I do maybe another round, and maybe there too, because that will probably be another day again. So about what did I think about today? One of the things that I thought about was I was watching old videos from 7 or 8 years ago, and there was one of the songs that I have kept in one of my playlists until then that I actually really wanted to maybe animate something, like not animate, but like, you know, like these videos where people like have like not scripts, but like images that kind of tell a story to the song, but also to a fandom. And I really always wanted to do that with DDLC. And there were multiple songs that I wanted to do that with, but I was always kind of concerned with like copyright. There are now 2 songs that I found that I really always wanted to do it with, and they're copyright free, so I'll definitely do it with them. But with like the other songs that I had in mind, I was kind of like, maybe I'll just do it for myself. But then I thought maybe I could also do it like, I'll animate it and link the song below, and the people can like listen to the song in the background of like the original owners, because I did plan maybe I could text them and see if they allow it, but like, what are the chances that it isn't going to cost a lot of money, so... Or that they're even going to respond to a random stranger being like, hey, I want to make like a little story to the song. I'll link it below and everything, and that they're even what are the chances that they might even respond at all? So, but first and foremost, I should just focus on the songs that I kind of want to work with at first, where I already have like started making sketches because like I knew they were copyright free. And I was kind of also thinking, well, my art isn't the greatest, but you know what? I I don't think my art needs to be the greatest for me to like tell the stories that I want to tell. Because I still want to tell them. It's exactly with the writing. Like sometimes I struggle with a few portions, but I still want to write those stories and show them to the world simply to show what I want to show. What I had in mind, what I thought could maybe be interesting to someone. Or like cool to someone. And so, I'll, even if my art isn't the greatest, I'll just go with it. And if I still have the life in the future and I get better and improve with my art style or something, then maybe I can do it again another time at some point and renew it. But at first I want to first and foremost just like show what I maybe had in mind. It's still going to take quite some time. On the other hand, I am producing quite a lot up front. And I don't know how I'm going to like upload it yet. But it's still most likely going to take quite a while. But yeah, I kind of do want to do that. And I was also kind of thinking for like other things maybe, like when it comes to like art, when it's not just like little things or like the animations that I kind of, animations quote unquote, that I kind of want to do myself because I want to kind of put like, it's what I really wanted to do, so I want to do it still. But with specific things I could maybe like try commissioning some artists. For one thing, I would need 5 pieces of art, and maybe I could pick 5 different artists. I'll need to see either way, but maybe I could try doing it. And I was also wondering, isn't it kind of weird that I don't want to pay for like the copyright of his song versus an artist? But I don't think it's weird at all, actually, because the people who make these songs deserve their money because like they did something that obviously I felt something and could relate to something and like obviously enjoy. But I still feel like those who like they probably still gain more money than those artists. So I would still rather kind of pay these people who probably don't get as much money for doing still amazing art. So yeah, I've been wondering if I kind of want to commission some artists for like one video for like the 5 images. And yeah, I was thinking about like the animations, I kind of, not animations, but it's like I don't know what else to call them. Slideshow kind of like. It's kind of like slideshow like. But it's like these stories where you have like these art pieces and they tell a story to the song that like relates to the song but also relates to the series or whatever, or like the OCs or whatever you picked for that event there. And like there were some where I really found something that I really felt like also resonated with DDLC or something like that. Like I could really feel DDLC in it for some reason. So yeah, that was kind of what I thought about today. So very randomly, shortly after listening to one of those songs again, because I was watching an old YouTuber that I used to enjoy. I don't enjoy her as much now because she's kind of she's currently all she's really doing is like 3 a.m. Elsa, Megan, uh, uh, you know, all these cartoon characters. They're coming to my house and never buy this Happy Meal at 3 a.m. Stuff like that. So it's kind of not really my. Oh, someone's not in the hallway. It's kind of not exactly what I would watch nowadays. Like the old videos, probably not either, but I would most likely still watch them more than It's also just a nostalgia that like kind of makes me. I kind of want to watch that. And now we listen to Max shower thoughts after he has calmed down from the cold. Oof, much fucking better. I almost just said much better. The frigid air slowly melts away and transfigures into steam. Fingers of water running down my skin like the warm touch of a lover. I think I don't actually know what that feels like. I made a new friend yesterday, or acquaintance is probably a more prudent term to use, but it was the girl at Miyazaki Library. The girl whom I had ignored and who ignored me, with whom we spent quiet hours unbothered by the other's presence, lost in our own worlds. The book on too high a shelf, no step stool to be found. You just happened to combine witness my plight. It could be mistaken for some kind of cosmic event. Reading in silence was comfortable, yes, but in truth, I've wanted an excuse to talk to the mysterious girl in the library ever since I first saw her. And the stars aligned, the universe handed me the excuse on a silver platter. And what wondrous evil fortune, she didn't seem to mind talking to me either. If I had approached you and simply spoke my mind in the first place, she would have startled, would she have startled, ran, and disappeared forever? Probably. She was so much more awkward and nervous than I would have guessed, and her fears and anxieties she wrote off in the evening. They were almost verbatim for how I would describe my own feelings. Does she truly read me so easily? Like a mystery novel with none of the mystery. It's a little terrifying, to be quite honest. Not since I was young have I felt this way in front of another human being. It's very vulnerable and easy to see. But maybe, just maybe, she won't try to hurt me. I don't think she will. And those are my shower thoughts for the day. And the shower thoughts for the video. Alright, bathwater, it's time to face your doom. I am dried, dressed, and smelling like a peach. Literally, my conditioner is peach scented. Should I take one more look at myself? I don't know why I keep saving it when it's really not... Like it will come out every now and then again, but... I forgot how surprised looked like. Let's return to a smile. Let's see. Maybe it will be a good day. I give my mirror self a finger guns gesture to farewell. He reciprocates politely. And my pain. What in the... Someone's calling me. Oh, shit, it's Yuri, the girl from the library! Oh, I thought Yuri, the one from... I don't know. I stare into the reflective surface of a hanging frying pan, straightening out my hair before listening she can't actually see me over the phone. Just answer, you idiot! Silence pervades on both ends of the call, with the sound of air filtered through the phone speaker being the only confirmation there's anyone on the other side at all. Hello, good morning. Sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's fine. I'm the one who should be... The both of us managed to shut up before this ridiculous exchange of interrupted greeting and apologies can continue. I exhale and hold the phone delicately in both hands, as if it could shatter with a single touch too rough. Is there a reason you've called me? Or perhaps you've done so on accident? No, Max. My calling you was quite intentional. And need I any reason to phone a friend in the morning other than to hear their voice? Ah, no. That's so sweet. Thank goodness Yuri can't see my face right now, and the red hue it's no doubt taken on. Although, there's perhaps one matter I'd like you to elucidate. Perhaps you noticed I used the pronoun they to refer to you. This because I am unsure as to your gender. You wear the boy's uniform, and yet everything else about you is disconcertingly feminine. Well, some men are just very feminine. Not that I find you disconcerting to be around. It is only the mystery of... Yuri! Remember what I said about slowing down to breathe and gather your thoughts? Right. Thank you, Max. I take a moment to follow my own advice before I answer. Okay, I can't see the history and see. Because, in fact, I'd say your presence is something. I'm a boy, as the uniform suggested, and I've always been one. I see. Good. Good? Oh, heavens, did I really just... That's not what I'll talk to you later, Max. Honestly, she probably did us both a favor by hanging up like that. Wait, what the hell? Jesus. Something cracked the absolute fuck out of that window. Must have happened overnight. Unsurprising given the weather, I guess, but still. Mom's gonna flip the fuck out. He just forgot about it? If she ever comes home, anyway. The news should be on about now. Kiki is 17 and that creepy-ass news anchor ready to deliver the latest while hopped up on caffeine and coke. Do I watch the news? Might as well, let's see. Let's see what doom and gloom awaits us today! But we shouldn't do it every day, because, yeah, that does only, like... It can worsen your well-being. Despite the inclement weather, preparations for this year's Sabumatsuri are still underway. This festival has been hosted by the Kuroshin Keiretsu for the past 24 years. Hori Tadashi, CEO of the Riin Soda Company, Riin has proclaimed his commitment to seeing the festival through to every last detail, including the parade scheduled to tour downtown. Hori went on to promise his Sabumatsuri will be the most lavish and technically impressive to date, with a host of floats, stands for businesses big and small, fireworks and live music. When prompted on how exactly their engineers were planning on utilizing fireworks in this torrential weather, he simply said we will need to wait and see. The Sabumatsuri is just one among the attractions still in... Mangars is for lowest temperatures in history. I shut the TV off. The Sabumatsuri, huh? That might be a fun thing to check out whenever it happens. Look at me, getting up on my own, getting dressed for school on my own, walking to school on my own. I'm practically an adult. Maturing is an attractive trait, right? Hey guys and gals, I'm single and a super great catch. God damn, I'm lonely. Shit, I need to keep the happy thoughts thing from earlier going.